Hi viewers, I welcome you all for this video lecture series on injection of property values in Spring Boot REST API. Before that, I'll introduce myself. I'm Shankar. I'm working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Let's go to the video. And in this video, we are going to discuss about injection of property values. In here, we are discussing about the @value annotation. The in Spring, @value annotation is used to assign default values to the variables and method arguments. We can read Spring environment variables as well as system variables using @value annotation. Spring @value annotation is also supports SPEL, which means Spring Expression Language. We can assign default value to a class property using @value annotation. @value annotation argument can be a string only. Here one example is given. Here we have declared a variable called default name is in the type of string. This default name is also annotated with @value annotation. The value is called default DB configuration, so which is in the form of string type. So now the default name variable can hold the default value called default DB configuration. And next, Spring is also tries to convert it to a specified type. The below code will work fine and assign the Boolean and integer values to the variable. So in this example, the @value annotated with the value called true, and we have declared a variable called default Boolean. This default Boolean will be declared in the type of Boolean type of variable and which holds the value called true. And the next, we have declared another variable called default int. The default int is a variable which is in the type of integer, and it can hold the default value called 10. Also, we already discussed that the Spring @value annotation is also using Spring environment property. In this example, the @value annotation can hold the value called the dollar symbol app name not found, which is enclosed in the braces. And we have declared the variable name called default app name, which is declared in the type of string. So the default app name variable can hold the default value called app name not found, which is in the format of dollar symbol, which is enclosed within the braces. Suppose if the key is not found in the Spring environment properties, then the property value will be dollar symbol app name not found. We can assign default value that will get assigned if the key is missing from the Spring environment properties. Also, we already discussed that the @value annotation is used in uh, variable as well as method also. So when the @value annotation is found on a method, if the method has multiple arguments, then every argument value is mapped from the method annotation. For example, here it is given @value, which is enclosed with the double quotes with the test. So now we have defined a method called print values, which is the return type of void. And also this method can have two arguments called s and v, both are in the form of string. So in this case, if you are called anywhere in the method variable called s and v, the default value of s and v have test. And the next, if we want to have a different value for different arguments, then we can use @value annotation directly within the argument also. In this example, we can understand. So initially, we have annotated @value with the value called test. And next, we have declared the method called print values. This print values is also having two arguments in this type of strings, s and v. But here, the argument s can hold the default value called test. We cannot, because we are separate annotated @value as data. Now the value of s is test and the value of v is data here. And I thank you all for watching this lecture series. Thank you once again.